is never gone. Welcome back, everybody. Professor Keith, Carolina Keith, Keith the Simp, can't stand Keith, regular Keith, normal Keith, just Keith, Keith from the old place. I don't really care. Good to see everybody. I know my voice sounds a little off. I've got a shit ton of medicine in my mouth. I've got a dentist appointment tomorrow. Left side of my face is a little swollen. This is what happens when you get old and you have genetically bad teeth. It sucks. Anyway, got some stuff to talk about to you tonight. With you tonight. How about that? I'm going to do the old fashioned remedy for toothaches. All right. I got some moonshine left. We're going to finish it off tonight. Let's get into it. Slightly different layout. I eliminated the top bar above us because I feel like it was just taking up room. Also updated at the bottom right here, at the bottom of the screen, you see that? Launch past the 786 Assassins link. What is that? What does that do? What does that get you? Well, if you click on that, it's also in the description of this video, you get, not only do you get a yearly membership for 25% off, but you get a free one-on-one 30-minute consult with me. All you have to do is follow the links. You'll get access to a private chat in the Discord. When you jump over in the Discord, you click on the private chat, you look at the pinned messages, you pick your date on the calendar, and just like that, you can have a one-on-one consult with me and learn a little bit more. Maybe that's the way you learn better. A lot of people's push on TA is they can't learn it right. They have a hard time understanding. It doesn't make sense to them, or it's all gibberish. Well, we can fix that. We can fix that, okay? We can work with you together one-on-one so you can learn a little bit better. Everybody learns different, and I know that. So I feel like it was a cool opportunity to offer everyone one-on-one consults. Sign up for the yearly, you get a one-on-one consult. 30 minutes, we can pound through some charts and learn some TA together. Now, if you haven't done so, please go hit like and subscribe and shit and all that normal stuff and hit the bell, all that crap. You don't have to, but it really helps out. The more people we can get to watch, the better. We want to teach people as much as we can, as fast as we can. Let's have a drink and we'll say hey to everybody. Oh boy, it's going to be a long night. All right. Adam Man was first. What's up, brother? Good to see you. Ato is actually my real name. What's good, brother? Good to see you. Ron Poteet, what's up, my friend? He said, go look at GBP versus the dollar. We got you. When Mullet says right here, name the Hall of Fame multi-champ winning coach who said, if I had to choose a player to take a shot to save my game, I'd choose Michael Jordan. If I had to choose a player to take a shot to save my life, I'd choose Larry Bird. That was Red Arbot. Bruno West. What's up, Bruno West? Good to see you, brother. So Mullet says you were over at an Elliott Wave chat. Okay, cool. We'll talk about Elliott Waves a little bit too. And it's going to hurt your feelings if you're a big fan, because I'll kind of show you why you don't really need them. Ray TA, JH, Big Tex. What's up, Big Tex? Good to see you. Kevin B. What's up, Kevin B? Loose Jr. What's up, Kevin? Rope-a-dope, JD Crypto, Lunatic Profit, Cycling Cotton, Papa Nick. Papa Nick's early tonight. He usually doesn't show up till like 11:29. G Funkadillion, Ghost Guy. What's up, my friend? What's up, Jeremy, brother? Good to see you, bro. You listen. We both have teeth and both have kidney stone problems. Okay, so fuck with the family. This is what we do. Travis Robertson, what's up? Good to see you, Pat. Oh, it's Pat Raleigh. My fault, Mullet. My fault. You're hitting me with these catch lines. If you give me stats and shit, we're good. But the catch lines, bro, they go over my head. I can't remember that shit. Now, let's get into the charts. I've got Bitcoin pulled up here on the hourly. Why do I have Bitcoin pulled up on the hourly? I'm going to show you two different Bitcoin charts. But I wanted to show you this uptrend that this is respecting. We've been talking about this for several weeks. I'm starting to see other people who don't do TA pop up and start doing TA and saying that they saw this and this is that. Come on, folks. I need you to get with it. We've been doing this. We don't stop. We do this constantly, 24/7, 365. We do this all the time. It's all we do. We don't care about the news. We don't need to find a why. We only need to know when. All right. Not only do we have this white line here, but we also have another one that formed here. It's a little sharper. All right. It's still trudging along. You could argue that it goes a little something like that. So we have two uptrend lines here, both of them sharp. One of them sharper than the last, right? So the last one's sharper than the first. I guess you could say the latter is sharper than the former. Either way, we're still riding up here, and I want to talk about the fibs a little bit. You can see that we worked our way through the fibs, and they were very well respected as they worked this way up through. Here's the fib trend line that it broke. If you don't know what Fibonacci retracement is basically mathematical support and resistance lines, and you watch the chart flip them back and forth. We have a beat on which ones get hit most and which ones are more well respected than others. It happens to be that red box that you see right here above your head, right here beside my head, this red box is the golden pocket. It happens to get hit almost exclusively every time for Bitcoin. When we see a pullback, whether that's a pullback upward or a pullback downward, it tends to be this level that gets hit a lot. Not always, but a lot. And what happens is you learn to look for this and learn to find it in certain spots. And this is exactly what's happened now. So as you see on the tether chart, we haven't quite got there yet. It's pretty darn close though. Now I'm going to flip this into linear mode, and you'll see linear mode, same situation, price hasn't changed much. Now I'm going to pull up the Bitcoin CME chart, which is the CME chart is the Chicago Mercantile Exchange. It's the only publicly traded futures, a whole set, whatever you want to call it, exchange, futures exchange that's in the U.S. It's for all the big boys. Bitcoin and Ethereum are the only two, all right? So they're very technical because of this. They're very mature, very technical. All right, so same move on the CME chart. It's a little different. You see the move up here from the bottom up. We've broken through. Let's go down to the 1 hour chart. Maybe a little cleaner to look at. You can see that we kind of cut through this trend here, busted through the trend line. There's also a big channel right here in purple that I've got lined out for you. And you can see how well it's respecting that channel back and forth and back and forth. You didn't quite get to the top of the channel here. It didn't quite make it. It only got about halfway up. This dotted line right here is the midline of the channel. And as you see, it's respected it fairly well also. Two lines that impressed me here were the first that it got all the way up to 1414 and tagged that at 17.5. All right. We were thinking 17.5 to 17.9 for several weeks now. For several weeks, we've been saying that. Now, why? Well, this is why. We could see these levels approaching, and we could capitalize on them as such. Now, I'm going to remove this fib for a moment, and I'm going to step back a little bit, look at the much larger chart. All right. I don't typically do low time frames. As you guys know, it's usually monthly, weekly, daily, but I wanted to show you some stuff, right? If I pull from my last swing high down to my swing low down here, and I use the fibs to respect it, you'll see they were already in the golden pocket target box here on the CME chart. This thing could fail from here. All right, so I need everyone to understand that while this felt good for the last little bit, we knew this was coming. We knew this wasn't time just yet. We haven't made our big capitulation. We haven't had our historic retrace, and we haven't found that real bottom yet, okay? I'm not going to sit here and try to talk to you about what the perfect bottom number is. I think that's stupid. What I will say is we haven't had the last push down yet. When we get the next push down, that may be the last push down. We're running out of time, cyclically speaking. There may be two. There may be one more big push down and then a double bottom. We'll see. I can't be crystal balling that shit. It's not necessary to crystal ball that. What we do need to know is it hasn't quite gotten done yet. All right. If it did, then we wouldn't be forming these very weak bullish bear flags. All right. And I call it a bullish bear flag because you can obviously see that price action is working up, but you can obviously see this is going to roll over and fail as well. So we had a bullish little move that was punched right in the face by a bear market. And that's what's going to happen. We just have to watch it and let it play out. We don't have to be super technical with the fancy terms we use. It's not necessary. What we are seeing is we had an upward channel and it's going to fail. Same thing happened back in the day to Bitcoin and XRP as well. I remember watching this happen, and I remember being upset, and we're in that same moment right now. So just be ready to duck and run if the time comes. I'm going to pull up DOT for a moment. All right. Let's use the Binance chart because I don't use the Binance chart. I'm sorry, I usually use the Binance chart a lot, but I'm not using it for my buys and sells. I'm doing KuCoin. All right, so DOT has fallen a metric shit ton. However, it may not be over. As you see, the golden pocket is where we're at right now, and we did break over that white trend line. But I want to hold pause here. All right, this isn't a perfect trend line, and I've never claimed it to be a perfect trend line. This is just a basis for what's happening. Okay, clearly the bear market's been rough to this, and it's going to continue to be. I honestly expect DOT to come down to around the $3 range now. That would be about a 30% fall. It would make sense. Anything under there, man, I can't take it. Listen, if it goes down to $2, then I'm going to have to be the guy. All right, I got to be the guy. You guys know it's already on my list. I released 5 videos so far of the coins that I'm going to buy in the next bull market. This is one of them. All right, I plan on it, and I'm not bullshitting you guys. I'll really do it, and I'll really show you what I'm doing. As a matter of fact, I put a few positions open just the other day over in the Discord and told everybody what I was doing. And of course, the why birds come in. Why, Keith? Why? Well, I can make a little, and then I can duck and run. I'm not afraid to cut it and leave. All right, I'm not the guy who's going to sit and hold anything. I see some risk reward that was worth it, so I'm going to take a little chance. And there's nothing wrong with taking a little chance. All right, anyway, we're stuck under resistance. You have resistance right here at this yellow line. It's not pushing up any farther past that anytime soon. I can remove these fibs. Not necessary now. We have a target box drawn. Next, this range right here has to break before anything is bullish. It has to break this range first, which is this red box here. Why? Well, it's basically the price action zone that the price is stuck in right now. What is a price action zone? Price action zone is the level between support and resistance that the price simply can't break through. It hasn't broken through anything. This thing has done a whole bunch of nothing. Look at this little bit of up and all of this down. All of this down. Man, okay? This is not going to be an easy climb back. And as a matter of fact, what you've seen now, this little bit of a push up now is just not enough to move the needle. It's not enough. You need to have pushed this way up here, which I think it will eventually go to, for this to be a sign of, oh yeah, okay, now the bulls are back. This is a weak ass bull run right here. All right. That's a weak little bull move. That's nothing. That's not going to move the needle for a bunch of big investors. That's going to just be someone taking some profits, the bears, taking some profits, feeding you into another bull trap so they can rip your legs out from underneath you and chew you up on the backside. Prepare for it because it's going to happen. All right, let me answer some questions real fast. I guess I need to know what's the question on DOT, because we can go through if there's any other questions on DOT. I forget his name. I'm sorry. Let me go back and look. Damn, I fucked this up. Oh, bravo. Bruno West. So, yeah, I want to know what your question is regarding DOT, because be hypothetical here for a moment. Let's just say this is the bottom, which I don't think it is. Well, let's say this is the bottom for a moment. We pull a fib on it. That leaves us to about $15, which just so happens line up with that resistance level right there pretty darn well. That leads us to about $15 or so in 2023, which would be pretty darn good. When it's 250% gains, really can't complain about that. From 4 to 15, that's damn near. Oh, that's more than that. I'm drunk. Not drunk yet, but I will be. That's 215%. I'm sorry. Now, again, I think that comes down a little more. I really do. And if that comes down to the $2 range, back up to 15, yeah, that's a big move. And that may not actually happen in 2023. We may get cut down lower to around the $6 range, but that's still 200% gains from $2 range. All right. I don't think we've found the floor just yet. Cyclically speaking, we have more time. Meet us. An opening or passage, especially one leading to the bodily surface. Jesus Christ. This chat has deteriorated rapidly. Do I want to read it? Maybe I don't want to read it. Oh, God dang it. He's talking about kidney stones. Yeah, let's not. Let's move on. Let's do, yeah. So anyway, no big deal for DOT right just yet. You have a ton of shit in the way of progress. That yellow line has got to break. If this breaks, that's a pretty good sign. Not only break, but it needs to break and retest. So I need to see it come up and get up over the line as such. If it doesn't do that, as Shania Twain said, the amazing, beautiful, and talented Canadian goddess Shania Twain, that don't impress me much. All right? I need to be impressed. I'm waiting to be impressed. Sean Connery. I'm a horrible Sean Conneryist. Is that even a thing? Well, I just said it was. So I guess it is. All right. Again, I like that $15 range max 2023, and that's max. I may not get that far. You may only get a 382 retrace, which is going to put you back to around $6. Now, that's not awful news because 2024 will bring different stories, okay? Honestly, I want to see it get up there and retrace back from it, because that's a different price action fractal than some of them that don't make it that far and then wait to the end of 2023 to fall hard. Those tend to capitulate a little farther, which means fall rapidly farther, and because of that, they have a harder time recovering. So I don't want to see that happen. I'd actually prefer if this moved up a little bit then failed, right? Because that gives me a better price action to look at. All right, let's go to Solana, because someone said Solana. Now we can look at that. We can talk about it. All right. So I got some fibs and shit here drawn. Let's pull them off there. All right. Still kind of flirting with this trend line, and we're stuck in this price range between 0 and 236. Same price range I just described to you a moment ago. For DOT is similar here, okay? Elliott waves would tell you that we're going to go up to 17,000 or some shit like that. It's just not based on support and resistance. Elliott waves need to be based on support and resistance to have accuracy. You can't just draw them and say, I think this is what's going to happen. They have to respect the support and resistance levels along the way. Furthermore, not only do they have to respect the price levels, they have to respect the trend. You can't just draw one and say it's going to break this trend and go do this. That's not the way Elliott waves work. Along the way, there are going to be stops and starts and bumps and more moves. And Elliott wave kind of disregards all that, which I have a problem with. Now, as far as Solana goes here, we hit box 2. I was expecting this to happen. As you see, I've got 2 red boxes drawn right here. Bam, we hit both of them. First, we stopped at Sniper's Alley right here. If I pull a fib on this, you'll see. Sniper's Alley starts here and down to the swing lows. That's swing high to swing low. See that, folks? All right, so Sniper's Alley, we stopped at for a minute, but we hung out. We didn't fail it. We just kind of hung out here. From there, we moved up, and now we've moved to the first take profit line. Do I think this can push higher to this second one? Yeah, and I'll go ahead and draw a box. I think it's possible we hit that level before Friday. After that, we're running out of time on our fib set. We're likely to roll over and fall. Let's assume for a moment we've already hit the top. Where do I think Solana comes back down to? Well, good question. Short term, if this is already at the top, $11, $8, and if we fail, $4. Go ahead and doubt me. I had people laughing at me today because I say Bitcoin is not done falling. It's likely to go down to 13,000 or lower. I had some people laugh at me. Just remember, those who laugh at me and say I'm wrong and try to troll me, you're the first motherfuckers I'm going to come back and holler at when I'm right. And don't think I can't find you. I know that sounds creepy. But everyone leaves an IP address trail. Everyone leaves their email. Everyone leaves their usernames. They accidentally connect their numbers. You're not invisible. Some of you think you are, but you're not invisible. All right, so be careful what kind of shit you talk on the internet. All right, you don't know who you're talking to in real life. I'm pretty much exactly in real life like I am here on YouTube. Ask these dudes over here who hung out with me. I don't play that shit, so just be careful. All right, let's see. Geriatric hour, Jesus Christ, y'all are killing me. Tune in for charts and kidney stone chats. I'm so glad I'm not reading that. Nick said, I'll find you. That's a little creepy. Maybe I shouldn't have said it. Either way, just be careful to the people you're talking shit to, man. I'm the wrong guy. I'm a pretty nice, chill, passive dude. But if you want to start some shit, we can finish it. You know what I mean? You guys, you kids on the internet think you're invisible, and you're not. Ethereum. Similar story here for Ethereum, and I know this looks messy. There's a lot going on. You have this bigger move, same swing high to swing low down here from last move. You've chopped sideways pretty hard. You've swept these highs, but you haven't pierced them just yet. You are sitting above Sniper's Alley, which I like. That's good, but I need to see it. Oh, it's fine. I need to see it break this yellow line first, and it just hasn't done so yet. Once it breaks that yellow line, we can talk. I need to see it happen soon, because if it doesn't happen soon, it's going to roll over and fail and roll back here towards $1,000 again. 1,000 to 800 right here is a failure level of interest to me. So if this trend line continues to ride up, I'm happy about it, all right? I'm cool with it. If that doesn't continue, what are our rollover levels here? Well, rollover levels are about 1,000 to, well, 1,000 right there. 1,000, then potentially testing the bottom here, and then we'll see if it comes down more or if we test this bottom and break back in. All right. Either way, I don't see this going up a tremendous more amount. It's a similar move to Bitcoin, only it's a little sharper. If you look at this move right here, where you had this consolidation, then you had the run up and one more pull. Consolidation, run up, and one more pull. It's the same move. It's just scaled down some. You got to know that that's going to happen. And what I mean by that's going to happen, I mean is this. All right. It's going to happen. And that's roughly $1,000. We'll see if it stops there and can hang on. If it can't hang on there, $800 is a solid number. And if it can't hold the $800, which is this green box down here, it could get really bad. So let's keep an eye out and keep an open mind and understand that we may not be right and this may not all go up always. And I don't think it's time to go up. I think we have about 6 to 8 more weeks max of time for this play to play out. After that, she's done. She's 1080 or she's whatever, 1060. Whatever the fucking number is. And June said to stop drinking. There's no way you can tell Miss June I said she can stop talking because we're going to drink. Or she could just have a drink with us. That's it, Nick. So bring her over when we get off of here onto the Zoom, and she can just drink with us. I think that's a great idea. Let's have a drink now. Serenity now. Oh, moonshine, folks. We don't play around in the South. Bruno West says, got you, thanks. He says, LOL. Is there any coins which have bottomed yet while BTC is doing this thing? Good question. So there are some that may have found a local bottom and may not fall any farther. They may just make a double bottom. Which ones am I talking about? Well, a good example of that could be Gala. And here's why I say that. You can clearly see that you cannot deny this thing broke trend. I can't expect this thing to break the trend back down and cut way down through here again. However, there's a solid possibility that we ride up here and just back test this trend line. All right? There's a solid possibility of that happening. What would change my mind? Breaching that trend line very rapidly. If it broke the trend line and came down under here like this, that'd be different. But there's a solid possibility this thing just floats the top of the trend line now. Other ones that have done a similar move are Dogecoin. Dogecoin may have already hit its bottom back in June. Now, there's a chance this thing breaks farther, and that's not drawn perfect. There we go. There's a chance this thing breaks farther. There's also a chance this thing has hit the top of the falling wedge, is going to make a pierce back down. A local bottom here wouldn't hurt my feelings at all. You don't have to go past that. That can just be the floor level. We saw that with EOS last bull run. EOS never really pierced its lows. It just kind of hovered around them. And Dogecoin doing that would make some good sense to me. It trying to reclaim back over this support that it fails. Like if it rolls over here and then tries to get back over here, the support, I'm cool with that. It doesn't have to stay down there long. But let's be careful, right? I need you to understand Bitcoin may drag everything with it. If you remember last time, there were a handful of coins that stayed up, even though Bitcoin went way down. VT would be one of them. There's a possibility that some of these have already hit their bottoms, yes. Got to be careful, though. No reason to jump over the rock to step into the hole. Be careful. Kava. No, Kava may go a bit farther. But I see what you're trying to say. Yeah, now see, Kava's got potentially more some down here. You haven't broken trend on Kava. Binance coin has. I don't think this thing's really going to bottom out until the end of 2023. I think you may get some situations where this happens and then it runs up. And then it starts to roll back over and then it does its last push. Somewhere around 200 to 250 for the bottom on Binance coin. Now, does that mean we should get in now? I don't know if it's worth getting in now and having your liquidity stuck because you can't do anything with it because it's going sideways. Binance coin has done the same move several times. It's outperformed a lot of stuff. So for that reason, this is one I'm watching more carefully. Matic also, similar story here. Matic broke and is sit there and just like a G held this level. This may not break these lows down here. All right. It may only sweep up, something like that. It may have already hit its quote unquote low. And if that's the case, fine. We're going to get a good price down here no matter what. So it's okay. It's going to be like a 70% discount down there near the golden pocket where we get a chance to rebuy. It's already broken that fib trend, so I think she's coming down no matter what here. Just some. It may just stick to this level here, right, where the support is. These may have already hit their bottom. Either way, they're not worth getting into until they finish this move out because you're just going to be illiquid until then. Litecoin. Yeah, that's another one. Thank you. Let's pull up Litecoin and have a gander, shall we? All right. No, on Litecoin, she's still stuck under trend right here. RSI topped out, floating high. Let's look back in history for a moment here. There's 18. She failed, and she bounced back really hard back in the day. Back into 19, which is where we'll be. It peaked out at about the 618 right there. Is that right? Yeah, peaked out at the 618. So let's go a little farther here with Litecoin, and let's check this around the end. So we're at 382 right now, and if we pull down to a more local, which I don't know, that's tough. Should we go up there, or should we go down here? I'm going to say let's go down there too and check it. Why not? So this one has already hit its 618. That's not good. This one already did its 618 over here. So that line's off a little. There we go. Already done its 618 here. It may be done. So it may jog sideways and down. Be careful. All right. Be careful. Yeah, you're welcome. Now, real quick, let's go through the timeline while you're on here, Bruno. I'm going to show you something that's pretty damn cool. Looks like a head and shoulders forming on Matic. Absolutely. I think my Tar Heels lost too, didn't they? Someone can break my heart real quick if they want to and look up the score. UNC versus Virginia. It was down 3 when I came in here. Just so I could entertain you guys. And I love my Tar Heels. I love my Tar Heels. We've had some emotional moments together. So let's go through this Bitcoin historical chart real quick. All right. While some new people are on here. Back in 2011. Now, I'm not looking at number of days. That's not important. What I'm looking at is time zones here. Bull run peak happened in a summer, right? This one's a little different than others, but you had a bull run peak and a halvening, and in between there you had a midline, and usually by the midline you've already found or completed your bottom. All right? After the midline, between there and the next halvening, you have a summer peak, which is outlined in white. All right? Then you have your halvenings in green, your midway halvening, where it's halfway done and halfway up the peak. Then you have your bull run peak again, and as you see, they're very symmetrical. All these lines are very symmetrical. All right, bull run peak, halvening over here, dead in the middle. The midway was where you pretty much found your bottom already. You know, it did double bottom, and that's cool. The yellow line is 100 days before the midway point where we start to see capitulations, and that's exactly what we have now. We'll go back through that in a moment. There's your post-summer peak, July. Okay, you'll see that a lot. You'll see that February, March is usually the midway point. What's the date right now? It's middle of January. All right, July peak, like we said. Then we have another halvening. All right, now we're up to 2017. Here's halfway through the halvening, and here's the bull run peak. Same thing. Next halvening is way over here. Midway, again, you've already found your bottom or almost got to your bottom. All right, yellow line was our capitulation line, sure enough. White post-summer peak. Look at there, July 19. All right, then after that, we had one more fall off. There's our halvening, bull market, halfway through the bull market, next bull run peak. Here's our next halvening, all the way out in May of 2024. That may change a little back and forth. Midway point, as you see, we're not quite to our midway point yet. And there's our 100 days. Our capitulation has already happened. Do we get one more? We're going to find out. As you see back here, I have historic retraces laid out. 87%, 92%, 84%. And as you see, we haven't gotten down there yet. It's about 81% from the top down to here, okay? Just hasn't completed itself yet. Then we should get a post-summer peak in here somewhere. All right, we're going to find out how much. Don't really know. I just know we're going to be smart about it. Post-summer peak's going to come in here. Then we're going to get a rollover. We may get a double bottom. We may not get a double bottom. We may just get a spot up here somewhere. Okay, whatever. Be ready for it. Then our halvening, right around here, we're going to look for some take profit levels because that's happened 3 times before. And then we'll be on our way later on. So I hope everyone had an awesome time tonight. We had 77 people on, and thank you all for coming. Again, 786unlimited.com has our Discord. You can get the 1 year plus a free consult if you jump over there and do it. I'm not going to twist your arm to do it. You can do what you want. I'm telling you, there's no better time to learn TA than now, because you're getting ready to get into a summer peak when you want to take profits, and you're going to miss it if you don't. Thank you all for coming. I appreciate every single one of you being here. I have a partial new quote coming up, probably Thursday. But for now, I'm going to stick with my main quote because I live by it every day. Y'all could have been anywhere in the world, but in the words of the late, great, notorious B.I.G., y'all chose to be here with me. I can't tell you how much I appreciate that. Thank you all. Probably won't have a live stream tomorrow. My tooth is killing me right now because I'm talking so much. I got a dentist appointment at 11. I'm not happy about it. We probably won't have a live stream tomorrow. We'll probably just do a Thursday stream. Thank you all. I'll see y'all on the next live stream. Sky's the limit. Y'all be good now. Peace.